Wow, I bet you a lot of people didn't even realize it. Oh, hey, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. You caught me researching, which a good modeler always does his research. Which brings me to this. Did you know that most model builders, model makers, are considered extremely intelligent? Not only that, they're in better health. And we're going to go over some of those reasons. We're going to go over 6 reasons why we're smarter than everybody else. Nerds! And I say that with a smirk. And I'm also going to go over the health benefits of that. So what we need to do is pause this right here, go grab your wife, go grab your significant other. This is going to give you a real good incentive to be able to buy those extra model kits because it's good for you. So let's bring out that inner nerd and let's talk about it. Looking for the best aftermarket parts and accessories for your model? Look no further than MCV Products. Bring your models to life at mcvproducts.net.
Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Matt's Models and More. Sorry about that little intro there. It's just having a little bit of fun. Please don't take offense. I consider myself a nerd. I know that name can be derogatory sometimes, but it's not. I promise you. It's a good thing. So let's get right into this. We're going to discuss, like I said, 6 things, and I've got them written right here. So please excuse me for bringing out the paper, but I can't remember all this stuff. So I'm going to put my glasses back on. And wives, and girlfriends, and everybody else, I hope you're paying attention because we need more models. We need more reasons to get more models. So we're going to go over some things. All right. So as I said before, there's a common idea that model builders possess certain qualities that are associated with intelligence and extra skill. Means I know karate. Just kidding. I don't. So here's some of the reasons why we're considered very intelligent and skillful. Number one, enhanced cognitive skills. I'm going to put it there on the screen. Model building enhances cognitive skills such as concentration, visual motor skills, and executive functions, according to Andrea M. Macari, PhD. She is an assistant professor of psychology at Suffolk University. So that's pretty cool. So that's stuff like, hand-eye coordination, eye focus, stuff that you really have to dig down deep in there and be able to build models without shaking, be able to handle certain things that are small, handle certain things that are bigger. So number one, enhance cognitive skills. And there's a whole other objective we can go into that, but I'm just going to list these and you're going to understand what they are really. I'm just going to give kind of a roundabout. Otherwise this video would be about 2 hours long. All right, so number 2, problem solving. That's to be said. I mean, you look at these kits we get into, dealing with some problem solving, but the process involves tackling challenges like figuring out assembly or detailing, which hones problem solving abilities and teaches methodical approaches to tasks. Boy, don't we know it. My last NPC kit I did, if you've seen a couple of videos back, so frustrated with that kit that I literally did not do the interior, did not do the engine. I blacked out the windows. I just did the body and the wheels. Just concentrated on the paint to make it a good shelf model. So talk about problem solving. I was not able to solve the problem of the actual bad parts, but it was more of a, what do you call it when you're getting over someone after a breakup? A rebound. That's what it was. So that was a rebound model from the previous model that had problems that I was working out of my head, solving those problems. So Going back to that problem solving. We all deal with that. We know that. Number 3, attention to detail. Man, detail is probably the most used word in modeling. You go to model shows, see it on social media, YouTube right here. People are teaching you how to get more detailed, showing you tricks, tips, all that good stuff. It's all about attention to the detail, and what it says and what the doctor says. Successfully building models, especially intricate ones, which we do a lot of, requires a high level of attention and detail and precision, which that kind of goes hand in hand back to the enhanced cognitive skills, because that hand-eye coordination, the focus, all that stuff coexists with the attention to detail. Number 4, research and analytical skills. The intro of this video, you caught me studying. I've got a book on Audis. That is a very, very special book. I'm not even allowed to sell that book. I had to sign a waiver. I used to work for Audi and I used to work for Porsche back in my car business days. And that book was given to us when we went to a class in school. They said that we are not allowed to resell that book. That book was only made for the professionals in that industry that belong to Audi America. So I've got some really good backdrop information if I ever was to build an Audi model. So, and I am about to work on one. So research and analytical skills, and here's what the doctor says about that. Model building often requires researching and planning, such as understanding diagrams, instructions, or delving into historical information for accuracy. Now, a lot of people that do box stock builds and they want to make it look authentic and make it look just like it came out of the production, off the production line. That's very helpful for doing your research. I do my research because it's fun, because my builds are a little bit different. My builds, as you know, are aggressive, slammed, big wheels. I just like that retro mod look. But it still doesn't mean that if I wanted to do a retro mod look that I didn't put a stock engine in there or did something on the interior that was a throwback to the original car. And in those books and doing your research, it will explain that stuff. You can actually, if you do your wiring diagram, let's say you're doing wires for an engine, the distributor, and you want to put them in the correct firing order, that's where research comes in. I mean, there's diagrams online everywhere. That's considered research. So, I mean, that's all part of that. All right, so now we're going to jump into number 5. Number 5 is creativity and imagination. This can be a slippery slope, because what she says is model builders often think creatively about bringing the model to life, customizing and adding unique details to express themselves, which goes back to me saying I like the retro mod and I'm using a little bit of my imagination of what I want it to look like. Because I don't draw it out, I use the AI, which we've gone there. I won't even go down that rabbit hole again, but that's part of that, using your imagination. Talking about this, I'm working on another video called Build It Your Way, and it's going to kind of dive into all this about, whether you're doing production, box stock, retro mod, hot rod, gassers. I mean, gosh, there's a million and one ways that you can build a model, and you can make it look any way you want to. So that's using your imagination and creativity. It's an art. So that's where that comes from. And finally, the last one before we dive into the health side of it, number 6, which is probably the biggest one, and I admit I've had more problems with this than anything: patience and discipline. I'll say that again because I know I'm not the only one. Patience and discipline. Patience. Discipline, I don't think, is a hard thing. I'm disciplined. I'm in here almost every day. I've got it down pat. I'm working on something every day. Discipline's not a big deal. The patience is, because I know it's supposed to bring joy, calm you down, relax, And I have learned to do that more and more and more. Every day that I spend in here, I remind myself to be patient, slow down, relax, enjoy the process of building it. So that right there is proving a point that, you know, the reason why we're more intelligent is I taught myself that just by getting upset one time. Well, let's not lie, it was more than once, but the last time that threw me into that video about modeling moods, I'll put a card up here so you can kind of dive into that. But it taught myself. So there's part of the intelligence, and I guess that's where the discipline comes in. Now that I'm seeing that and saying that out loud, the discipline actually taught me by teaching myself
to slow down,
to be patient, to realize that this is fun, this is a hobby. But I'm learning that it does all this stuff. It makes me smarter. Just think that. Next time you're walking around, stick your chest up. You're a model builder. You're smarter than everybody else. You're smarter than an astronaut, smarter than a chemist. Nerd! I'm going too far, but you get the point. We do use certain skills, techniques, certain parts of our brain that are no different than an architect. Architects, when they build or design a building or a house or whatever they're doing, they literally have to create a model of it. So it's no different than what we have to do, and it's to scale. His has to be to scale, or hers. His or hers, when they're building that model for that building or that house, it has to be to scale, and they have to do it properly. And you know, they use a lot of engineering to make sure it doesn't fall on itself. We have to do the same thing. If I'm working on a suspension for a car to lower it, I've got to make sure all of that is angled just right. I can tell you about that as the art of rake. He's got his stance just right. He knows the science behind getting that car to look like that and to look realistic too at the same time. All right, so here's your bonus. We're going to talk about the health. I wrote in big letters down here to tell your wives. She better be watching right now. In essence, model building can be viewed as an activity that cultivates and strengthens a range of skills and cognitive abilities, which in turn contribute to a person being perceived as super intelligent and very skillful. Not to mention, the range of these associated skills equate to a healthier lifestyle and an elevated brain function, such as memory and alertness. Now, let's dive into that, because that is, as I've gotten older, I've noticed I have lost a little bit of my memory. But doing this is actually helping. This actually helps you to be alert. You don't want to be holding a sharp X-Acto knife and not be paying attention. So you're alert. Trust me, you're alert. I hope you are. That brain function, which is part of that problem solving, going back into, I think that's number 2. So problem solving, that brings you back into that. So you're using that brain more than you think you are. So as we get older, a lot of us are retired doing this. I am retired, even though I do have a business. I don't work a full 8 hours a day. But I'm using my brain in ways that I haven't done in a while when I was in the working industry. So that's important to keep that up. Because as we get older, we do lose some of that. Hopefully we're doing other things to keep ourselves healthy, but it's important to know that this is more than just a hobby. This is actually healthy for you. And it does make you smarter. It does keep your brain moving. I find myself, and take this with a grain of salt, but I find myself breathing properly. I will breathe, especially if I'm working on something extremely small. You know, they tell you, I used to shoot a lot. I got a CWP. I haven't shot in quite a while, but I used to shoot guns a lot. I've got tons of guns. But one of the things they used to teach us was right before you squeeze the trigger, you don't pull the trigger, you squeeze it, but they tell you to hold your breath. I find myself doing that sometimes whenever I'm working on something extremely small. That way I don't mess up. I had to change that because almost passed out a couple times because I am working so hard on holding my breath so that I don't mess up the model. I had to stop and go, okay, you got to start exhaling and inhaling a little bit slower when you're doing those small things. So, you know, we can go hold again down a big giant rabbit hole with that. But that's just a quick little video that I wanted to do. I thought it was interesting. I noted in the previous video about, you know, me hitting on this because I was doing some research on it. I read her article. I thought it was pretty fascinating, especially just the way she laid it out. And it wasn't just modeling in, when I say in general, meaning, you know, architects and stuff. She was actually talking about the hobby. And she was showing pictures of planes, tanks, and stuff like that, and cars, of course. Cars was the main feature. So that was a really, really cool thing, and I wanted to share that with y'all. Another thing I want to share, my sponsor, MCV Products. I'm going to go over a couple things, and then I'm going to show some cards. Got some more shop cards in, and also got some awesome wheels, and we have a giveaway. So hang in there. That's going to be the last thing I show, so keep watching. And don't fast forward. You need to watch this. All right, my sponsor, Matt, at MCV Products. I was able to get some engines lined up for my next couple of models that I'm going to be doing. And E17, it's a 460, 429 with fuel injection and a top loader, 4-speed transmission. Take a look at this bad boy. E17. So if that's something you're interested in, jump in on his website, mcvproducts.net. I also have, these are one of my favorites. I'm working on, you saw I had a video about the AK markers where I did a Coyote Motor 5.0 that had the Whipple supercharger. This is the Ford Coyote motor. It's just the V8 with the Tremec 6060 trans. It does not have the Whipple supercharger, but it's your standard, probably the one they put in the Mustangs standard, but that is number E11, mcvproducts.net. Got 3 more. Hang in there, guys. All right, so this one is vintage drag racing Hemi. I love my Hemis. I'm more of a Ford guy, but I have to admit I'm kind of falling in love with some Hemi stuff and some Mopar stuff. Vintage drag racing Hemi with the Hillborn mechanical injection and power glide transmission. Take a look at that one. That's going to be fun to do. I love stacks like that. They're fun to paint. Again, that's E28. Check that out on his website. Twin turbocharged 572 with transmission. This is E24. Check out this thing. Now, you talk about retro mod. This is what I love to do. This is going to go, I don't know what I'm going to put this in yet. I thought I had it lined up, but look, I'm going to have to make sure I have an engine bay big enough because this thing's twin turbo with the intercooler on it. And look at that thing. That thing is menacing. If you have a lot of room, maybe like a Buick Wildcat or something that's got a big engine bay. E24. That's an awesome motor right there. I'm excited about that one. It's one of my favorites. And this one. I'm a Chevy. You know, I say I'm a Ford guy, but I'm actually a car guy. I don't care what kind of, if a car looks good, it looks good. Because I love my Novas. I love Dodge Darts. I love Ford Falcons and Mustangs. And I love it all. If the car looks good, it looks good. LSX Outlaw twin turbo. This is with the power glide transmission as well. This is E32 if you want to look into this, but check out that motor as well. That would look amazing in a retro mod as well, or drag car, or pro street, pro stock, anything like that. mcvproducts.net. Again, that's E32. So I got those. I'm excited about all of those. And now we're going to jump into my other sponsor, which I love him, Ryan at ZForce Modelworx. ZForce Modelworx. I won't show this yet because that's the giveaway. He got me some really cool wheels with I'm going to paint the inside of those. I know what car I'm going in on this as well. It's kind of hard to tell. I should have opened it and put the caps on it, but this is going to look good. You can put this, you can do this as a Chevy wheel or Mopar. You can kind of get away with a couple of things in some of the older Fords. But I'm excited about that. So thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that, buddy. You know what? I'm not going to make you wait to the end. So for everybody that fast forwarded to try to get to the end, gotcha. We're going to talk about this right now. Giveaway. Let's see. What should I do? I'm going to say a word at the end of this. Yeah, I'm going to say a word at the end of this video. One word. First one that comments that word is going to get this. And I'm going to mail it to you free of charge. This is on behalf of my sponsor, Ryan at ZForce Modelworx. So I kind of got you again. You're going to have to finish watching this and listen to what I say and then listen to the last word that I'm going to use. So he sent me these, and these are 3D printed grills. It looks like, please forgive me for that, gosh, because it looks like either a late 70s, maybe early 80s, two different kinds of grills, and it looks like Ford or Chevy. No, it's not GMC. That's either a Ford or Chevy. And I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. But one has the emblem in the middle, but it does not say the model. And then the other one is deleted with a different kind of grill. It's kind of hard to see that. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to give these away free of charge. I actually texted him and I said, hey man, I think you sent me something by accident. These may have belonged to someone else. He said, no, I want you to give those away. I want you to make sure one of your fine viewers gets something for free. So that's what I love about him. He's an awesome guy. And we're going to give those away. And I will give you that word, the very last word of the video, before we go off to receive those. So now, another thing. Got a show coming up in Charleston this weekend. We're actually leaving tomorrow. Me and the wife are going to go down a day early because we're going to enjoy Charleston. We love Charleston. We'll do a little bit of shopping, a little bit of dining, and get ready for the show in the next morning. So we're there bright and bushy-tailed. But I'll show you what I do is I do the top 10 picks of Matt's Models and More. We want to pick out the top 10 cars that, judges may not pick. This is going to be my style. I mentioned that in the last video. This was our old token, very small, made of basswood. I didn't do a very good job with that. But this time, because I do have a woodworking business, I said, you know what? I'm going to cut up some cherry hardwood, put it on my CNC machine, make some circle blanks. Check these out. This is hardwood cherry. It's going to have the front logo, of course, Matt's Models and More with the YouTube logo. But on the back, Matt's Models and More top 10. And it says beautiful builds. So it's going to be the top 10 beautiful builds that we pick, not the judges. And then it's got our SKU code there, because the important thing about that is if you receive one of these at that contest, you'll be able to SKU that, watch the video with your build in it. So, and I've got 10 of them, as you can see. So a lot better than last time. So if you go to the show and you see this next to your car, or if you see it next to somebody's car, know that I picked it for reasons that fall in line with our philosophy of the channel. So pretty cool. All right, some quick shout outs. Let me put my glasses back on here, my nerd glasses. Little piece of tape there holding on. All right, J Hart Woodworks. This is a good look, man. I went on his, I subscribe to him, I watch him. He's got some beautiful builds. And he wrote, hey Matt, thanks for the sticker. I really appreciate it. You have a great channel and good tips. Keep up the good work, Justin. So that is Justin at J Hart Modelworx. Follow him. And he's also got Instagram, TikTok, and that's his Gmail down there at the bottom. If you'd like to contact him, hopefully you can see that, and maybe do a card swap with him, or maybe he'll send you a card. Shaggy's Garage, check this out. So this is another beautiful card. I tell you, I'm getting jealous. I'm gonna have to get some shop cards. It says, hey Matt, I appreciate you sending out the stickers. Your channel is absolutely awesome, man. I'm learning a lot watching you. Keep up the awesome content. Thanks, Shaggy. And Shaggy, you have a cool name too, man. That's awesome. That's probably my second favorite next to Crankenstein Creations. Cool channel. So follow him, guys. Give him a sub, give him a like. And there's his email down there as well if you want to do some swaps with him or send him a letter or do anything. But follow him, watch him. Larry's Model Shop, another good looking card. Man, that car right there, that car almost looks like the one I just did. If you go to my it's funny how we all kind of picked that same color, and that's wild. No telling how long that's been made, but we're all on the same page with that. I did a model spotlight on that car, which was my first model spotlight video. Sorry, getting off track there, but go to Larry's Model Shop. Make sure you give him a sub, watch his channel. There's his emails down there if you want to send him anything. He wrote, I really enjoy your content. Keep up the great work. I've learned so much good things from you. Aloha, Larry. So Larry, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. I will put all of their channels in the description so you can follow them. Also in the description, you will see my two sponsors, which is MCV Products and ZForce Modelworx. So make sure you give them all of the business you can. And if you use my codes, you're going to save 10% on both. And that's huge. I mean, they already have good prices, probably the best around for the quality that they put out. That's for darn sure. So use my code, get that 10%, and give them your business. All right, so last thing, the secret word is going to be nerd, N-E-R-D. First person to comment nerd is going to receive these grills from ZForce Modelworx. And you can use them for whatever you like. So do that. Good luck. I appreciate that, y'all. Again, I appreciate all of the comments and cards. And I mean, gosh, this hobby is just amazing. And I can keep on going forever and ever. So I apologize. Love you guys. Please like, subscribe. Next video will be about the show in Charleston. So give me a little bit of time to get all that worked out because I'm sure it's going to be a long one. And I hope to see you there. If you see you there, come see me. Like, subscribe, and until next time, keep on rolling.